Okay, so let's talk about NPCs and how this whole idea gets pushed around uh, the truther community or whatever. And I'm not judging anyone, okay? I understand that there's a level of awareness and consciousness on this planet that needs hierarchy in order to feel special, okay? And I was there too. So, but the idea of an NPC where, it's like, oh, well, I'm this and they're NPCs is still division consciousness, and it's not really showing an elevated awareness state, in my opinion. And let me explain why. Because, like I said, it teaches hierarchy. But here's the other thing. Okay, so this is how we can actually look at it, so it can be inclusive, where we can truly be compassionate and loving, because ultimately that is the goal, to grow love and compassion. I would hope to grow in love and compassion and to learn and grow through experiences, to be able to hold more of that, right? So that, because like the true creative frequency is love, the true, all that stuff. And, if we can all carry more love and resonate with that frequency, then the more we can trust each other. And trust is like one of the highest frequencies. I don't know, like, I think the highest frequency I've ever felt is like pure bliss, which is like inside. And it's like, you can let go of the entire reality, but like at that moment, you're like, yes, I would leave everything behind. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So that's the feeling. Like, that's like God, okay? Which is attainable through meditation. But what I'm talking about is we all resonate at like a certain like programming sequential frequency. Okay. I like to use like a computer as like an example, because it's just how my brain works and it just seems understandable. So if you start in this game, okay, and you have a certain disk programming that's telling you that, like, basically it starts getting coded, right? Where you're learning like you're separate from everything, right? And you're learning all, and then you go to school, and then you're taught that what your grades are is how valuable you are, how much money you make is how valuable you are. This becomes like your baseline awareness, okay? Which is sort of like the program on this earth, okay? And that's an idea of hierarchy. But as you start to expand and grow, like through the trials and errors, if you reflect back to self, expand and grow, and question self and question reality and whatever, you start to gain higher perspectives, higher aspects of awareness that help you then look back and see how you're basically holding more ability to resonate with a higher frequency of love. Okay. So if you're doing that like all the time, right, and you're growing yourself, then there's also, but see, that's the free will. So then there's going to be other people on this earth that aren't doing that. They're sort of just like staying in the program, right? At some point, if they are just staying in the program and not really doing the inner work of increasing their own resonant frequency, then you will at a certain point out resonate them, which doesn't mean like you're better than them, but you will resonate at a frequency where there's no longer really any way to like connect with them other than you sort of just being as like the witness, because you're basically looking back in time when you're looking at another person who is at a different like frequency than you, okay? Because that's you at another point of the same juncture, because we're literally all reflecting each other, all right? But so this is why, as you start to increase your frequency, they say, oh, your reality starts to change, because it does. Because the universe is going to keep giving you lessons and things that are going to push you where you are, like, hopefully further along, right? So it's going to keep looping back around with the same things to face until you like learn your lesson from the lessoning, and you gain a higher perspective, and you open up your sphere of awareness that much more. So essentially, to say NPC is looking at a past self as something lesser than you. And I get it, because I mean, it's sort of like that whole thing where, oh, freshman, you know what I mean? But ultimately, once you get to a certain place, you realize that doing that is just like not really graceful. and it's not really actually love. It's conditional and it's judgmental. And the true loss of ego is the loss of the judgmental mind. People think that the true loss of ego is like the loss of identity of self. No, you're always going to be your individualized aspect of the one that we all are. You're going to go through many incarnations, right? But you always are going to be grounded in your one self-awareness, which is the one we all share, but yet you're experiencing it from your individuated aspect node. Okay. And I'm experiencing it from my individuated aspect node, but we're the same. So that's where when you get to a certain level, you see that everyone that you talk to is just you at a different point, but with like different features and all this other stuff. So then you can be like, wow, I have compassion for them because I remember when I was like that. And so instead of being like, haha, you're an NPC, just know that at some point in your life, maybe not this one or the last one, but at some point you were one of those NPCs looking at people going, when they were further along in their consciousness journey, if you want to call it further along, whatever. I like to look at it as like expansion and contraction, but so too, you need to expand and contract. So we go out to come in, we go out to come in, and hopefully we're going out in, we're going further out, further out, further out. Look at that. That's just from me being cold. Like, why? Like, I've not been in water. Whatever. I think I need to drink more water. It's probably like a sign of dehydration or something. Anyway, whatever. So essentially, consciousness is like, that's the breath of life. Out, in, out, in. So you go out to come back in, out to come back in. And hopefully when you come back in, you're gaining more awareness and more capacity to hold more breath and resonance, basically, which is the energetic frequency of creation. Okay. Thanks for listening. And I'm not saying anybody saying NPC is like a bad person. No, but it's just like, it's like another level of awareness, and me too, like me, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever, however many, and time is linear. I mean, we think it's linear, but it's cyclical, but really it doesn't exist. It's a whole freaking thing. But oh man, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I think basically I told you everything that I wanted to like get out here, and I kind of let spirit talk through me there. So I'm not 100% sure what I said, but I'm like, I know it'll make sense to those who need to hear it or want to hear it or whatever. And I'm like, look, I'm sitting on my trampoline out here. I'm cold. It's cold out here. It's not really that cold, but it's like, it's like, it's like fall. Okay. Anyway, oh, thanks for all of you who have subscribed to my channel. If you made it this far in the video, like, way to go. And, can you put in the comments your favorite, your favorite number, all right? Or your favorite frequency, whatever, like, just put in your favorite number, all right? No, your favorite emoji. I'm so indecisive sometimes. Whatever, just do whatever the fuck you want, literally. Just thanks for subscribing and watching my shit, and like, I don't know, if you find my stories valuable, cool, share my videos, whatever. But I'm coming at you from my highest attained awareness sphere, if you will, and that's the gnosis I bring. So take it or leave it. I love you. Bye.